Welcome, Joel.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, guys. I'm so excited to be here. I've heard there's all this lore when you don't work at Google about Google. Like, what's the campus like? What are the people like? And I'm kind of blown away. It's really amazing. And I have a total nervousness just going to college and stuff, being in a group and a teacher calling on you. So I won't call on you, but I will ask for volunteers because it's more fun to cook with someone and not alone. A little bit about how I got started. So at Sur La Table, we teach classes across the country in 85 locations. And I was in a class and I was looking in someone's trash bowl and it was overfilled with shrimp shells, cucumber seeds, all these things that as a chef, you're taught to save. You know, in the restaurant industry, there's almost no profit margin, literally very difficult. So every ingredient can make you money and you are taught to not throw it away. But as home cooks, we were never really taught that. I mean, raise your hand if you guys have a grandma or a grandpa or a great-grandma or grandpa who saved everything. Raise your hand. Most of us, right? I mean, sorry, I'm loud already. But most of us have that. So we have this skill, maybe from the Depression time, where we saved everything. But now, because food is so easy and so accessible, we kind of lost that. And I realized that we're throwing away $1,500 each every year in food waste. It adds up to about $119 billion. Food waste is the #1 cause right now to global warming. It is the #1 thing in our dumps and in our landfills. So when you dug into this, it kind of was nuts. And so I teamed up with Katie Couric. She's the executive producer of the show. Has anyone seen the show? Yeah, a couple people? Yeah, okay. The show is me in my van. This is Pippi, the red van. Okay, her name is Pippi because she's red and she has freckles like Pippi Longstocking. Okay, but Pippi was a piece of trash. She was in a farm for 50 years untouched, scrap metal. And we turned her into a kitchen and we drove her across the country. In each episode, it's on A&E, I meet up with different chefs and we put on this amazing meal for locals, shocking them that the food on their plate was food they would normally see as trash. So that's what the show is about, and Pippi represents the movement, represents this idea that there's so much potential in these ingredients that we're throwing away, right? This is Carrot Tops. I'm calling it right now. Parsley of 2019 right here. This is the next hot herb. You're gonna see this all the time, and it's been around forever. So I hope you guys get a little inspired today. We're gonna whip up a couple of recipes, starting with Pappa Pomodoro. What the heck is that? Anyone know? Pappa Pomodoro. No one knows? Okay, so what did you say?
Pomodoro's tomatoes.
You got tomatoes, baby, I love it. Pappa, and this idea is a bread soup. Super humble recipe using really stale bread. Who's thrown away stale bread before? I know, it's like Scraps Anonymous today. It's okay, we all have thrown away stuff. So stale bread is absolutely delicious. You can make things like breadcrumbs with it. There's amazing things, but for this recipe, it thickens the soup and almost gives it this creamy texture that is so addictive, so incredible. So we're gonna whip this up. Who is willing to come cook with me on this recipe? Yes, come on up. Yeah, give it up. Oh yeah, we'll start with you. What's your name?
Bria.
Bria? Yes. Give it up for Bria. Takes guts coming up here to cook with me. Okay, so we've got a medium-high pan, or a pan on medium-high heat. So out of 10, this is a 6. Cool? So we're gonna cut up some garlic and some chili, and I got a cool trick for you. What's the spicy part of a chili, Bria?
Seeds.
The seeds. So if you grab a chili, and feel free to stand around here. I'm cash, so if you guys can't see, let me know. But you can take your chili and roll it like this, and cut off the bottom, and shake. Oop, this one doesn't have a lot. Let's see if we can. That's good. This will be a non-spicy one. But all the seeds will come out. So if you roll them, it kind of loosens it up, right? So why don't you try? Roll this guy, give it a chop. Now while you're doing that, I've got some olive oil, okay? And we've got tons of tomatoes. Now on the tomatoes, they come with their tops. We all throw this away. Smell this, Bria. It smells like the farm. It smells like a fresh tomato. These tops are unbelievable infused in what you're cooking. You can make butter with these tops, like melt butter, put the tops in and then take them out later, and you have this tomato butter that's unbelievable. You can soak them in teas, in your gazpachos, but today we're gonna kind of use them as like a flavor boost, like a bomb in this, cool? So we've got some chili, all right, and the way we're gonna chop this is we're just gonna slice it thin. 90% of people, Bria, show me how you hold the knife at home. Yes, you're all laughing. You know you hold it wrong. Show me, how would you chop that? Okay, no more. I want you to keep all your digits, yes. So most people hold their knife like Bria did, and it's totally cool. Some people do this. Anyone do this? My mom does this with the finger. I don't know what the finger's about. But the right way to hold your knife is to pinch the blade and wrap your fingers around the bottom. It feels horrible for like 3 weeks, but then you get used to it and you have so much more leverage, you have so much more power, so much more control, and your knife cuts will be more even, which is really important in cooking, so everything cooks at the same time. Cool? So I'll let you chop up that other chili. Go for it. Yep, just kind of pinch the top. Yeah, just kind of pinch it and tuck your fingers back. There you go. Yeah, perfect. All right, so you got chili. I got a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna put it in the pan, enough to kind of coat. Cool. And then I've got some garlic. And in Italy, they slice their garlic, right? It's more like this, as opposed to chopping it fine or using the garlic press. So slicing it is kind of like a kiss of garlic instead of like a huge kind of mouthful of it, which is nice if you actually are gonna kiss someone after this recipe. So it's kind of more of a touch. All right, so we've got our chilies, we've got our garlic. Now what I have you do, Bria, is grab all these things. Do we have a bench scraper in the house? I totally forgot to ask for one. Cool. I'm gonna go like this, and then you're gonna add all these ingredients to that oil. Thank you. By the way, if you don't have one of these, get one, because everyone uses their knife and scoops up their ingredients, and your knives go dull. This saves your knife. It's also good for smashing garlic, chopping dough, all that stuff. So if you wanna scoop that up, right into the hot oil. Are you guys with me so far? Are we having fun? Yes. We're learning? You guys are about to smell some beautifulness right now. Awesome. So we've got garlic, we've got a little bit of chili, everyone in the pool. And then I've got some onion. Now, when you cut an onion, how do you not cry from cutting an onion? Sharp knife really, really helps. Nice job. A lot of people don't know that. So, and you're gonna stay there, Bria, and make sure we don't burn. All right, you can turn it down if you need to. Sharp knife helps, but
don't cut off the root.
Don't cut off the root. I've never heard that one before. There's all these like crazy, my grandma's like, freeze it. I'm like, how do you chop a frozen onion? So I've also heard, hold a match in your like left hand. I'm like, what are you talking about? So the right way to not cry from an onion is when you chop into an onion, the gases from the onion kind of rise to the top. So they kind of just go up towards the ceiling, and they're attracted to anything wet. Our eyes are wet. So if you put a little wet napkin in your mouth, it will be attracted. You look ridiculous, but it will be attracted to the napkin before your eyes and make a huge difference. So it's just a little something, something. Now, onion peels, by the way, delicious. I make an onion peel batter, fried pickle in the book, and I've been cooking this across the country on the book tour. People are losing their minds over onion peels. You can put them in your chicken stocks and then fish them out later, but onion peels have so much flavor, and they're amazing. So, I got a little onion. I'm just gonna chop this up. When you chop onion and you get halfway, just turn the onion over so you don't have to kind of get awkward with your hands. How we doing? We looking good?
Yes.
All right, so we have onion, we've got garlic, we've got chili. Everyone in. Beautiful. Now, big pinch of salt. How would you salt this, Brea? That was not a bad salt. I'm impressed. So the right way to salt is 3 fingers and a thumb, always. I like kosher salt because you can feel it. And always from up high, so the salt spreads, right? So that's why you see chefs do that on TV. It's not just because we look cool, although we do look cool, but it absolutely makes a difference. So we've got that going, smelling amazing, right? We're all with me so far? So far, can everyone do this at home? It's not too crazy. just to add a little different type of heat, a little pinch of chili. Save it from the next time you order pizza. That's Scrappy. And then our tomato tops. Cool, so I just want to show you guys what to do. Let's say you have, even these onion peels or mushroom bottoms or anything that you have that's not edible but can give you flavor. I actually like to wrap up butternut squash like outside, like the shell of a butternut squash. So what you can do is wrap it up in a little package. You want to do this, Bria? Yeah. So just wrap that up. This is cheesecloth. You can buy it at Sur La Table. You can buy it on Amazon. It's everywhere. It's cheap as chips. Wrap it up in a little bundle. And that way you can throw it in like a little tea infuser. I like to call it a flavor bomb. And it's going to just kind of enrich everything. And again, give that tomato vibe all the way through. So this looks awesome. Tomatoes in. If you ever go to the market, and I know tomatoes are just getting out of season, but ask for seconds. What are seconds? Yeah, imperfect. They're always under the table at the farmer's market, even at Whole Foods. They have these tomatoes that are busted, they're open, they can't sell them. For something like this or a tomato sauce, it's genius, right? Because they're bursting with sugar, they're bursting with juice. That is prime time tomatoes, and they'll give it to you for like much, much reduced price. All right, so stir that in, my dear. You got it? Now, we're going to throw in our flavor bomb. And then, yes?
Can you reuse cheesecloth, or do you throw that away?
You can absolutely reuse it. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I've never done it, but you could absolutely do it. I will start reusing my cheesecloth. So, undisputed king of cheeses, Parmesan cheese. This, a moo-moo, and a rom-com, I'm pretty much good for life. Okay? I will eat this like a piece of cake. I love Parmesan cheese. And I love every bit of the Parmesan cheese, but we all throw away the outside, the rind. The rind you're starting to see in specialty stores now sold separately from the cheese. This stuff, just smell it. This is like umami. I just got chills. This is umami, you guys. This makes food taste rich. This makes food taste filling. This gives it layer. And so Parmesan cheese just tossed in with a pot of beans or while you're boiling pasta, or in this case, some soup, just toss it right in. Unbelievably good. You can take it out later, gnaw on it, you'll be fine. Or you can fry it after you use it, and it gets puffy like a chicharron, like a cracker. Dude, that's where like half of this came from, okay? Really, really good. Give it up for Bria. Thank you very much. Thanks, buddy. So we're gonna turn our heat up, kind of get these tomatoes going, and then we don't add the bread yet. The bread is gonna happen kind of later. Cool? Another great thing you can do with this is we're gonna add basil at the end, and basil stems, and the stems of a lot of herbs hold so much love in them. So I wanted to show you guys a quick little thing. Who wants to help me with this next recipe? Come on up. Give it up for him. I love it. So I am kind of tired of the same old, I got invited over to someone's house and I want to bring over a bottle of wine. I want to bring over something different. I want to bring over something maybe a little bit out of the box. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make a flavored salt, okay? You can put this in a cute jar, give it away to someone, but really this is so good for your cooking. So, turn this guy up even more. Let's see, we've got lemon basil here, right? Isn't that right, Elizabeth? From Google Gardens. You guys grew this, okay? This is unbelievably good. So let's say you have basil at home. Come on in, what's your name? Tarek, Joel, good to meet you. Come on over. So Tarek, let's say you're at home and you had a recipe, maybe it was a salad that called for basil. So you take it off the stem and you're left with the stem. I mean, the stem, put this under a pillow and you're gonna sleep really well. I mean, this is beautifully smelled. But we're gonna use it to make a salt. So the leaves we'll save for a different time, but that's the part that would always be saved. And then I've got an old school pestle and mortar. Cool? So Tarek, what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you take these stems, I'm just gonna kind of chop them up, and you can do this with mint stems, parsley stems, cilantro stems, basil stems, whatever you got. I want you to go to town, baby. Take a little stress out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
I know you're feeling it. So get in there, move it around. Oh yeah. Bend your knees. There you go, baby. There you go. Beautiful. So that's good. So just so everyone can see, it's just pulverized, right? It's just this paste. Smells ungodly. I mean, ungodly. We could bottle that and sell it. Okay. Chunky salt. So this is different than kosher salt. So you guys can see big, giant flakes, right? This is Malden salt, sea salt. Look for these. I'm going to add, for every tablespoon of crushed herbs, I'm going to add a half a cup of salt. It's a lot of salt. I called your doctors. You guys will be kind. Okay? So what I want you to do now, Tarek, is just keep going, but more kind of rub it. Go for it. Yeah. Get in there. Yeah. Look at this. He gets into it. Really? He's more passionate than I am. I love it. So as he's doing this, as Tarek's doing this, and you can kind of confirm, Tarek, the salt is turning colors. The salt is becoming what? Greener. And it's picking up all the oils from those stems. So now I just want you guys to be able to see. Dude, you did amazing. Let me just feel this. My God. Unbelievable. Look at this. Right? What was once, good save. What was once totally trash is now this stunning, floral, beautiful salt, right? And you smell this, and we'll pass it around. But this in a jar, this over a piece of fish, this to finish a salad, this just like as a little garnish over the top of the soup. Genius, right? And such a nice gift. If you really care about the stems, Tarek, you're gonna hold this. I'm gonna just hold it right over that parchment. You just pour it in and shake it. Yep, and it catches all the stems for you if you really want like a perfect salt. I like all the stems, but totally up to you. Where's my little bowl? So I want to pass this around. Look at this. Is that awesome? You can do mint sugar. You don't have to do salt. That's perfect. So just so everyone can see, you can gather everything up. In there goes. And the most beautiful stem salt. Yes?
How well does it stew?
This will never go bad. Because none of the herb that's in here, it will go dry, just like dry herbs. So there's nothing in here that will go bad. It might lose its flavor after about 2 years, but absolutely beautiful. Give it up for Tarek. Nice job, bud. I'm gonna pass this around. You guys into that recipe? It's pretty crazy, right? It's kind of fun. Any questions so far? Nothing? Come on, give me something. Yes.
So I don't know, like herbs or onion peels, those kinds of things. You just
Great question. Great question. So, question is, when you're cooking at home, what do you do when you don't know what to do with this stuff? You're just trying to make dinner. And the last thing you want to worry about is this, right? Totally agree with that. So what I do is I always have a bowl, in this case a glass one, but I always have a bowl for my scraps on my counter. Always, you're gonna go to the bowl first because it's right near you, as opposed you don't want to have the trash can nearby. Then I get a piece of paper and I kind of do it in half and I put it on the bowl. So I can kind of divide the bowl up between like savory scraps, like herbs and onion peels and things like that. Maybe there's protein stacks or scraps like things like chicken or beef fat or those little things that I want to save. So they kind of stay separate. Then I cook dinner. At the end of dinner, I put them in little Ziploc bags and I make best friends with the freezer, guys. The freezer is your friend when it comes to scraps. The last thing you should be doing is thinking about, I gotta use this today. You totally don't. That will stay good in the freezer for 6 to 9 months. You'll be totally fine. So just make sure you save them. And then it's gonna be like a Wednesday night and you're gonna be like, what do I cook? I don't know what to make. And you're gonna open your freezer and there's gonna be a treasure trove of things. So that's kind of the goal with all this. Really good question. Anything else? Cool. All right, well, our tomato is blipping away. You'll notice I didn't add any water to this, no chicken stock. I just kind of want to make sure everyone can see. Isn't that beautiful? Right? And when tomatoes aren't in season, you can absolutely use canned tomatoes for this recipe. It would work totally fine. So we're going to let that hang, but before we do, we've got our stale bread. This is bread soup. So this is where I would add my bread, and normally I would let this go for like 20 more minutes and really let those tomatoes break down. But just in the interest of Google time, you guys have meetings and places to go. We're gonna put the bread in and just kind of let it soak up. Now, why is it important, do you guys think, to season a soup at the very end? Not now. Like, I haven't added much salt to this. Why?
I think because it evaporates the flavor
Yeah, nice. So she nailed it, which is if you have, I'm just going to do a little visual aid here. If you have a soup that starts off like this, right? And when you're cooking, all of it is starting to cook away, right? So it starts off like this, but at the end, it kind of becomes like this. It comes to here. So that salt, let's say it's perfect here, won't be perfect when it's here. It's going to be too salty. So you always season sauces and soups and things that are reducing at the very end. Otherwise, it's going to reduce and make it like totally inedible. Make sense? Cool? All right. Ready for the next piece of magic? For as classy as you might think I am, which I am not at all, I have a little trashy side to me, okay? I love me some ranch dressing. Any ranch lovers in the house? Thank you for admitting it. Yes, yeah. He was like, yes, I like ranch. I could bathe in ranch. I'm sorry. I love ranch. But ranch dressing you usually buy in a bottle. It's really creamy. It's really bad for you. So I wanted to make a ranch dressing that had no cream, that was actually somewhat good for you. So, and the basis of this ranch dressing is a scrap that I absolutely love. So who wants to help me with our ranch dressing? Someone's got to come up here. Yeah, get it up. Give it up for him. What's your name?
Steven.
Steven. Good to meet you, Joel. All right, so aquafaba. What the heck is aquafaba? Have you ever heard the word before? I'll give you an air high five. Yes, nice. Bean water is what aquafaba is, okay? So what I mean by bean water is, let's say you cook a big pot of beans. It's the water left in the pot. Let's say you open a jar of beans, like most of us do. It's the water inside the jar. So you said your name's Steven, is that right?
Yep.
So come on over here, Steven. So we're gonna open up, we got some chickpeas here. All right, I just want you to hold the lid back and just pour the liquid right in there. Cool. So if you look at the liquid that Steven's pouring, it kind of looks, that's perfect, that's great. It kind of looks like egg whites, right? It's kind of thick, right? Raise your hand if you've ever drained chickpeas, beans over the sink and it just goes down the drain, all this stuff. I told you, it's like Scraps Anonymous in here. We have all done it. We've all done it. But we're going to change that because this right here not only can make creamy dressings, it can become meringue. There's marinades you can do with this. You can thicken soups with this. There's so much you can do. So we're going to turn it, though, into my favorite, a little ranch. So you're going to grab a little immersion blender. Does everyone have one of these? If you don't, you can absolutely just use a blender or do it by hand. But it's a lot easier with one of these. All right, so stick it right in there. Yep, and then press that button.
Low or high?
Yep. And in like, I don't know, 5 seconds, look at the color. It goes from kind of like that egg whitey to like this creamy, gorgeous, light, cloudy color. Does that look awesome?
Yeah, that look pretty good.
All right, so we'll pause there. Good. Then what we got is a bunch of spices, normal ranch stuff. So garlic powder, dried thyme, or dried oregano. Go for it.
This in?
All of it in, baby. Yep. And you can take the one from underneath of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I hit it. I got a little black pepper, a little dried thyme. Right in. Go with the black pep. A little bit of salt and sugar. I mean, this is all stuff that's just in your cupboard. Garlic, fresh garlic. And then this is apple cider vinegar. So blitz that up, my friend. And like already, you just look at it, it's like, oh my God, it's ranch dressing. Like it's happening right here before your eyes. Look at the color, it's got the little flecks, it's got everything. I love testing this recipe. I tested it like 10 times. Okay, whoops, wrong thing. Cool. So, make sure this guy's on. Good, there you go. Okay, so we're nice and creamy, frothy there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add lemon, okay? Whenever you guys have a lemon, and let's say it's really hard, you can absolutely microwave it for about 20 seconds, and the juices will just come flowing out of it. But if you have a nice, soft lemon like this, best thing to do is roll on it before you chop it, and the juices will really get loosened up. Now we're gonna zest this. We've got a microplane right here. Got it right under here. There you go, my friend. Do you know how to zest a lemon?
Yep.
Show me how you do it. It's a trick. No, I'm kidding. So what you do is, no problem, the best way to zest a lemon is pretend like you're giving someone low five. Put the microplane in your hand, kind of stick it on the board, and then on it. And you always turn the lemon or the orange to a new spot, meaning it's not like cheese where you go like this. You do one strike and then a new spot. That way it doesn't get bitter, and you always kind of get the same thing. So you want to get me a little bit more? Go for it. Oh, this soup is looking insane. Unreal. That looks great. That's plenty. Use this bad boy. Love it. So that goes right in there. Beautiful. That's okay. Right in. Beautiful. And zip it up. While he's doing that, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the lemon juice. Always through your fingers. This is like a sieve. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna grab some oil. And this is like vegetable oil. This is not olive oil. Olive oil for things like this, it's too strong. You'll taste the oil instead of tasting all the flavor you put into it. So we're gonna start nice and slow. And then you're gonna go big. Is this crazy or what? I mean, it's seriously, I think it's one of the coolest recipes ever. You guys will get to try it. And you can kind of hear it changing. It's going from soft to thick. You guys hear that? That means you're doing it right. This will stay good in the fridge for a week, and it will stay good in the freezer for about 3 months. That looks great. Done. Give it up for Steven. Nice job, buddy. Watch the glass on your way out. Beautiful. I'm gonna pick up this jar. Okay. Me doing a demo where I break only one thing is a big plus for me. That's a big step up. So what I like to do is grab this dressing, and just so everyone can see, I've got a plate here, and I like to just kind of pour it out. Look at the texture. I mean, that's ranch, right? I mean, it's creamy, it's light. When you put this in the fridge, you absolutely will have a little bit, it will get a little thicker and a little bit more easy to dip. So we've got some crudité here. I wanted to show you guys a couple tricks. First of all, cauliflower, man. This stuff at the grocery store, these leaves are unbelievable. They're like bok choy. You guys can throw them in stir fries. You can put them in soups. They're so delicious. But cauliflower like this, I mean, take all these leaves off, and again, don't, like if you're in the middle of a recipe, don't worry about them, just freeze them. You'll come back to them, they're not going anywhere, right? And then something like this, these Romanescos are just kind of in half, and then just kind of cut off the outsides. The actual stem itself, absolutely delicious to put in soups and things like that. But I like to just kind of make a little pile in the ranch. This is like fancy ranch. I've got some carrots, no big deal. I like to wash them and leave the skins on. Totally okay to do. But I'm kind of just making a little crudité plate. When I plate things, I try and get it high so it kind of goes into someone's face. That always kind of makes it a little bit more inviting. It's one of the first things they kind of teach you at culinary school. So nice big pile of veggies. We have kind of the ranch dressing on the bottom. Then tomatoes. I love this next trick. So cutting cherry tomatoes is a total pain in the butt. It sucks. Cutting grapes is a pain in the butt. Cutting olives is a pain in the butt because you have to go one by one. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen this trick, but you take 2 deli containers, take a handful of them, right on. Cool. Then, other one over the top, grab a serrated knife, and right through. And you have chopped in half cherry tomatoes. Give it up for that trick. I love that trick. Did that just change your lives? That totally changed your lives. So, a little bit of chopped cherry tomatoes, and then pepper, also kind of a pain in the butt to chop. And one of the biggest things we talk about on the cooking show and also in the book is how food looks. And a pepper, I don't know if you guys know this, but see how this pepper stands up? I just learned there's a company here in the Bay called Imperfect Produce. Has anyone ever worked with them? They're awesome. Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah. So imperfect produce saves food that would normally get rejected by grocery stores. So a pepper, if it falls over like this and it won't stand up, it won't be sold. It goes in the trash. Because grocery stores need it to have symmetry so they can stack it up high, which is just ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. And so we have to get around this idea that food needs to look perfect. It should look imperfect, just like we all look imperfect, and we should celebrate it for what it is. So a good way to cut a pepper is top off, bottom off. You can save this stuff for kind of something else. And then I take my knife and I roll it. And you have this beautiful kind of sheet of pepper, right? Really easy to chop, a lot with no seeds. This, unfortunately, is cooking crappy, not cooking scrappy. So this is not good. So don't save that. That can go to the chickens. And then I just kind of cut this up. And I've got this beautiful kind of veggie platter in 5 minutes with gorgeous Romanescos, homemade ranch, all with kind of things made from food waste. So give it up for this dish right here. Love that one. So we've got our kind of appetizer. Let's revisit our soup. And just want everyone to be able to see. It's been 15 minutes, 20 minutes with the soup cooking down. So I just want everyone to kind of look inside. The whole soup has transformed. I mean, it's really thick now because of the bread. It's absolutely beautiful. So what we're gonna do is just plate this guy up. So I'm gonna grab a plate. And the last step to this, really, really easy. I grab a ladle or two of the actual soup, put it in a bowl. And then I grab a little blender and just kind of blitz this up. And this makes it really smooth. You can do this with whoops, it's gonna be a mess. Always is. But if you guys can see the texture difference, light, creamy, right? And then you kind of bring it back in. And it kind of, marbles throughout, gives it a different texture. So some of it is creamy, some of it is a little chunky, and I love that. The Parmesan rinds themselves, try and fish them out, but if someone gets it in their bowl, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, exactly. They'll love it. And then just a nice serving of this. And you can see this is thick. This dish was a peasant dish because stale bread, back in Italy, everyone had stale bread. So it was kind of thought of as a low-class dish, but it's so beautiful. It's so vibrant and filling. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that parm, which I am all over the place with the parm. Where's my parm? Thanks, buddy. So a little bit of that parm right over the top. Doesn't that look good? You guys are gonna be able to try this, trust me. Little basil on top. That's homemade tomato soup 101, but with celebrating stale bread. Really the centerpiece of this dish. So you can take a little bit of basil right over there, maybe our basil salt right over the top. Fit for a king. Give it up for that dish right there. So we've got scraps all over the place. I've got soup. I broke something. We had a real party here. But any questions about any of this? Yeah.
Is that salt enough for the soup?
What's that? The salt?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just a little finishing salt. Yeah, because the Parmesan rind gives it a lot of saltiness. And then you'll remember in the beginning we salted just a little bit. So it will get there. Absolutely. Yeah, good question. What else?
So I've got a question.
Yes.
You've demoed probably 3 of one of your more favorite recipes, or what are the top 2 or 3 when they open this book and they go home that you are the most proud of because, there's a personal connection, it's more innovative? What are some of the things? I think the aquafaba ranch was super cool. I'm going to try that for sure. What are the other recipes that you're go here first?
Okay, so anyone ever have brown bananas at home? So those brown bananas come in a peel. So in the book is a brown banana and peel cake with whipped peanut butter frosting. This thing is transformational. It's like religion. It is so good. Banana peels kind of taste like plums. And when you think about bananas and when they turn brown, that's the color of caramel. That's sugar. So that just means they're sweeter bananas, so not worth throwing away. So that's one. And I would say I came up with this thing called the sea salt, which is like a BLT, but with chicken skin. So it's chicken skin, avocado, lettuce, and tomato. And you bake the chicken skin, so you take it off the chicken, and you bake it, and it gets so crispy, and it is insane. I come from a Jewish household. My dad can't eat bacon, and I made it for him, and he was like, done for life. He loved it. So those are my two.
Very cool. Any questions? Yes, let me pass you the mic.
That bean water, does
Yes.
it matter what type of peas or beans you use? Like,
Absolutely not.
What if
No,
it's like black beans or kidney beans where it's like the water is redder or darker?
Right. So the only thing I would say is black beans are a little tough for it. So black beans just make a crazy color.
Okay.
But you can absolutely, it works with black beans. I've done it. It works with red beans, so any beans. But if you want to make a kind of a creamy texture, it's definitely a white bean.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. What else? Yeah.
Talk about the freezer being your best friend. What's your take on refreezing? I mean, once you've already taken it out and it's thawed, and where do you draw the line in terms of refreezing?
Proteins is where I draw the line. So the question is can you refreeze? Once you freeze something, you take it out, can you put it back in the freezer? If it's a protein like fish skin or chicken bones or pork fat, once it's out, and you got to use it. But vegetables and fruit scraps, absolutely. You can always refreeze. Yeah, good question. What else? Yes.
Hi there. You mentioned that the middle of the bell pepper was inedible at
Yeah.
some point. Somewhere in your book or online, etc., is there a place where we can find out, like, oh, this actually I shouldn't eat, like,
The things
not
that,
be poisoned,
yes.
or I don't know.
Yes,
Is there a
yes,
list
yes.
like that?
So I don't have a full list, although that is a genius idea, so I might put that together. You can absolutely Google it. There's a great website. No, I don't know if there's anything that I would say particularly that, if I have a list of things you can't eat. I will say that in the very beginning of our chat, we talked about our grandparents or maybe other generations. They were back then really trusting their senses. And so I have a whole chapter in the book called, and like I said, cooking scrappy, not cooking crappy. That means if chicken smells off, throw it away. If there's fuzz on the outside of a strawberry, throw it away. That stuff's not worth it. But we know what that looks like. We know what that smells like. Right? What I'm asking you guys to do is look at the whole picture, One thing that a lot of people ask me about is about expiration dates. And are they real? And, do you throw your milk away the second the date hits? So we just did a whole episode about this. And expiration dates and sell-by dates, they're totally dictated by the manufacturer. So they're all over the place. So it goes back to, again, open up the milk, even if it's a week past its date. Smell it, pour it out. I'm sure it will be fine. But you will know. If you have doubt, throw it away and don't feel bad about it. Yeah, good question. Yeah.
I really like that salt recipe, but it doesn't use a lot of herb stems. Like, you have a lot of recipes that use a lot of herb stems.
Oh man, yes, absolutely. I have a whole herb stem sauce in there where you use the entire herb stem. If you use a ton of them, like if you have let's say you picked a whole bunch of parsley, you can use them as a bed to bake fish on, and they actually cook down in the juices of the fish and elevate the fish off the bottom of the pan. So they kind of act as like a little rack, which I love. So herb stems are unbelievable. And of course you could throw them in your stocks and your soups and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. What else? Yeah.
I think another thing that sort of goes to waste in my personal kitchen are like condiments. Like you buy a sauce for a one-time use and then you just don't really ever use it again. Like in your experience, like have you ever combined condiments to make a new sauce?
Totally, yes. So airing tonight on FYI Network is a Scrappy Thanksgiving special. It's a 1-hour special where we take all the leftovers from Thanksgiving and we whip up like a whole weekend's worth of food. And if you can't watch it tonight, you can watch it on Saturday morning too. But we do this exact thing. It's all about condiments. How do you make the most of them in your fridge? What do you do with your mayo, your ketchup? How can you repurpose everything? So the idea is, instead of going out after Thanksgiving or after any meal, look in the fridge. I have a hashtag on Instagram, if anyone wants it. You take a picture of your fridge, open it up, and say, "Scrap my fridge" at Joel Gamoran. and I will respond with a video of what you should make out of your fridge. And I respond to them all, which seemed like a mistake in the beginning, but now I'm really like it. So if you guys don't know what to make, you can always call on me. Yeah.
I want to build on what you just said because the chefs at Google do a very similar approach. We traditionally are always looking to create menus based off what the chef's excited about. And if you flip the whole paradigm and go, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Farmer, what do you have? It's the same exact opportunity. And so when I go home and cook, my wife's like, what for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. We open the fridge, and it's exactly that opportunity. So raise a hand. How many people here have actually taken that approach, whether you're a confident cook or not, to actually look in the cupboard, look in the pantry, to your point, look at the condiments, and actually experiment? Raise a hand. Who's tried it? I would challenge everyone here to make that opportunity, because there's no right or wrong. You're either going to like it or you're not. If you don't like it, make it taste better. Just keep working on it. But it's a really good point. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you guys do that here at Google, and not surprised at all, because you guys are always on the forefront of it. But the reality is that everyone always asks me, well, what's an action item that I can take away after I teach a little class like this? What is one thing I can do? The one thing I say you could do is replace one day of cooking out with staying in and trying to make the most of what you have. And if you just do that once, it will be huge. So to Chef Scott's point, push yourselves a little bit. It will make a big difference.
Yes.
Are there things you recommend we have in our pantry or kitchen generally to enable that?
To always have on hand? That's a tough question. That's a really, really tough question. I do, like my pantry, I invest a lot in, but I only shop my pantry probably once every 3 months. So I always have my flours, my nut oils, my, seasoning blends, all that stuff. I do that like probably 4 times a year, and I go grocery shopping for that. What I do every week is for my proteins and my fruits and my vegetables. Those turn out. I always have carrots, celery, and onions. Always, 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 always. I always have, chicken and like neutral meats. And then I'm a big believer in cooking on Sundays and then really trying to stretch it out until Thursday, Friday, and seeing if you can't, do a little meal prepping. So I'm huge on that. Yeah, good question.
Huge round of applause.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. This is one of the most fun talks that I've had the opportunity to host, because it's something that everyone should have fun with, and it's a new discipline to actually take home and actually see what are we actually throwing away. I mean, going to what you said earlier, between 40, if not more, % of the world's food is essentially wasted. It doesn't make it from the farm to us, or when it makes it to our house, it doesn't get cooked, and it's a travesty. And to eliminate that, or to at least help with that, let alone look at all these opportunities to serve the skins and the peels and the tops, super, super cool. So a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. Any final questions from the team here? Or do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I have a question. I like to play a game, if you guys want to play a game with me. It's called Stump the Scrap. So I like to call out a scrap, and I'd like to see what you guys would make with it. Cool? All right. What would you do with butternut squash seeds? Yes?
Roast them, salt them, season them. Enjoy them as a great snack.
Exactly, baby. Roast them, season them. Give it up. I love it for Tarek. Okay. What would you do with you buy a steak and there's a lot of fat on the outside, so you cut it off. What would you do with that beef fat? Damn, dude, I love it. Give it up. That's amazing. So he said render it and make some sort of confit. So rendering fat, if you have extra fat, you can put it in a pan with a little drop of water and cook it really slow for like 30 minutes, and it will turn into like an oil, right? And now you have this beef fat oil. You toss your potatoes in that. You cook your omelet in that. It is so, so good. So yes, rendering it out is great. All right, one more. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
What would you do with, it's got to be a good one. Oh, I'll stump you on this one. What would you do with peach pits? I'm shocked that you actually got that. Nice job, give it up. So what she said was, very nice, is you can infuse it. So peach pits taste like almonds when you infuse it. So if you put it in like vodka, you can make like this peach pit, beautiful vodka that you can make drinks with. or a simple syrup. You can make a really good kind of almondy flavor simple syrup. But you said soak it in milk. You can make peach pit ice cream, peach pit panna cotta, lots of different things. So even look at those pits. They're worth it.
Awesome job. Let's give Joel Gamoran a huge round of
Thanks,
applause.
guys.
Cooking Scrappy, and we'll see it on YouTube. Thanks again.
Thank you.